Hey everybody, welcome. It's Scarlet Pete's Self-Sufficiency and Crafts, and you join me in mid-Wales on a farm watching the big boys play with toys which I can only ever dream of owning. If you watch my channel often, you know I play with silly old broken toys that give me more grief than enough, don't they, Jim? Now Jim, I'm trying to persuade to tell me a story about when he used to bale this field. How long will this take them like this, Jim?
Like this?
Yeah. Hour and a half? And how big's this field?
11.
How many?
11 acres.
11 acres. Wow. So what baler did you used to bale it with?
John Deere.
Is that like a little square one like we had?
Yeah.
And how long?
6 hours.
6 hours just baling?
Yeah, just there.
How long to cut it?
4 hours, 2 hours.
And with what type of tractor would that be?
Tom Rogers cut it. Same tractor as that.
No, but in the old days when you were doing it. In the old days when you were doing it.
Oh,
With the old fashioned ones.
Seeker one.
Yeah.
Same as this.
And how long would that take you?
Cut it for 4 hours. 4
Wow.
hours.
Wow. And it took them what? The other day, an hour and a half maximum, was it?
That wasn't. Well, it broke down. And Tom Rogers cut it. Come and cut it. Yeah, it'd be about an hour and a half.
Wow. And in the old days when your dad run this place, what was he using to cut it in the very early days?
The old-fashioned cutter bar bore. Oh, that would take you. I started cutting the field once, 4 o'clock in the morning,
No.
and I finished by about 12 o'clock.
At night or in the morning?
No, in the morning, about 6. Yeah, what did that be? After 4, 8 hours, 7, 8 hours.
And then to row it up, what would he have used?
Hay bob like that up in the yard.
And then you'd bale with the old Massey Ferguson or the Bamford?
Yeah, it was Massey Ferguson, better John Deere.
Wow. How many tons of hay would 11 acres give you?
50 tons.
50 ton. And in the old days you'd have to have brought that all in by hand.
Square bill.
How many thousand bales?
7,000.
7,000 bales? You wouldn't want that machine to break down like ours does, would you?
Oh, I've got to keep going.
And on the day you'd got to bale, would you get up the day before and like get the machine ready? Would you have to like grease it all, or would you?
Yeah, probably between 11 o'clock at night. Ready for next day.
And it must have been so much more stressful because you knew it took longer and the weather could change.
Yeah, it was hard work.
I remember the good old days though, when we'd all come from everywhere to help the farmer. The farmer's wife would put on the great spread, bring a picnic, we'd have cider, and we'd sit on the back of the trailer and on the bales, and we'd have a great time.
Why?
This one, I don't see any cider in sight somehow. I can't see a picnic happening here either.
No, that one. Keep contact after now. 17 players.
Wow.
7 hands, 17 players.
Yeah.
Over on the time, 7 hands.
You've got to be a big farmer to cope these days then.
The price of that baler. It keeps going. That baler, did we say 2017? And now the price of new baler this year,
Yeah.
one equivalent to that, 30,000.
Really?
The one you got, yeah, you had a fusion, didn't you?
Yeah, but come and did ours.
They're 60.
Wow. But fodder's so expensive.
The one who had baled and wrapped, wasn't it?
No, he just baled it. We didn't have a fusion then. No, he just baled it and netted it.
All right, it wasn't baler and wrapper.
No.
Or it wasn't a fusion then.
No.
It was similar to the same as that.
Yeah, but much more modern looking.
Yeah.
That one looked a bit old, you know, even for around here.
Hey?
That one looked a bit old even for around here.
Bale, some sort of bale.
So how many bales to a ton?
Two.
Oh, I remember buying tons of hay when I was much younger, and you'd have to, was it about 100 small bales to the ton or something, isn't it?
60.
60. If you were lucky. If they'd wrapped them tight, if they'd made them tight.
Them tidy, yeah, 60.
And you don't want them to heat up.
No.
So this is quite dry, this haylage. I was looking at it. It's haylage, isn't it?
Dry, but you couldn't bale it for hay. It would come all day.
So how long does this need to pickle now to be any good?
6 weeks.
Because it like preserves itself and pickles and ferments,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Pickles itself, yeah, you don't have to touch it.
So I thought your dad would have been doing this on horse and no?
You know, when I left school,
Yes.
it was either hay or muck. If the weather was bad, you were baling muck. If the weather was good, you were baling hay.
Ah. And these days you call the mucky stuff, don't you?
Hey?
You call the mucky stuff.
Shit. Are you recording me?
I am recording you. I said I was going to. You have to swear on my channel. I don't.
Muck.
So I really thought your dad's days he'd have been using a horse and the old. So he's not.
Didn't use horses here.
They must have done it before.
It was 1956 he came here, 58. And I do just remember my dad using horses.
Really?
Yeah,
What colour were they?
brown mostly.
Proper big cart horses.
Yeah, cart horses, yeah.
Because my neighbour in Hungary, he still cuts with horses, and to watch him using the finger bar mowing, it's so quick with the horses. Because I'd heard, yeah, I'll show you a video later of him. It's amazing. But I honestly thought the finger bar mowers were hell, that they would jam all the time.
Block
And his was right a well-oiled machine. It was really amazing.
and he was cutting with horses.
Horsepower. He cuts it, rows it up with horsepower, and then he gets somebody in like us to bale if we've got a working baler, which we haven't at the moment properly.
Alright.
Looks like they've finished. That's a very tidy job he's done. So he's got a few £1,000s worth of bales here, hasn't he?
Oh, well, £10 a baling base, mate.
Pardon?
Well, he's doing all the work, isn't he?
I'm just doing a picture from here. You've got the best view. He's noisy, Jim. He's noisy.
Ah, you know, that's music.
So you were saying this is the best type of farming then, hey? Just sitting and watching. What you really need is like a Porsche or a, you know, some sort of posh.
We've got gator, haven't I?
Oh, the gator.
That's the top.
That's the.
That's the tall John Deere gator, the top of the range.
So you sit and watch them.
If you're on shit, you buy a coyote. You tell me. What are they? A coyote? Are they? Not Japanese. Oh, Indian, is it?
Is it?
Something like, if you want rubbish, you buy a coyote. I told somebody I was buying it when I got it, buying a coyote. Don't you dare buy a coyote.
So you got your gator.
So I bought the gator.
So all those bales in the old days, did you say 7,000?
Yeah.
Where would you store them? Because that's just
Well,
this
not
field.
right up there.
And how many bays would it take to
Well,
fill?
that was used to be before the roof flew up. It was 6 bays, was it?
And would that take them all?
And it would hold about 1,000 bales in each bay.
Wow, so that's 6,000 taken care
And then
of.
it'd have a stack at the end. I used to have to put a sheet on that.
Tarpaulin.
And that used to get wet.
And like, how many bales would the whole farm make?
Well, I never had the whole farm, but I used to milk cows then, didn't I?
So this would have been your hay field,
This.
only this one.
That one that they haven't cut, and the one there, and the bungalow field, which, as you know, belonged to me then. And the bungalow fields. These two, that one there, the bungalow field.
And how many cows were you milking?
55.
And how many of those bales would be all used up by winter? How many would you need for the year out of those 7,000?
That would about do me.
Really?
For the winter.
And have you ever had a year where you've lost the crop because of rain or?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, well, you'd bale it. You'd have to bale it to get off the field. But it would be.
And would you end up having to buy in then?
You'd have to eat it.
Because that's all you'd got. And that's probably what everybody had got that year then.
Well, exactly. They know you'd have to eat it.
Right, so there you are, everybody. That's the story of Jim's field, who I tricked into talking to you all. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the stories. You've got to give me lots of comments so we can get Jim to tell us some more wise things in the future. Bye bye from Wales. Say bye bye, Jim.
Bye bye.
See ya. And there goes the wise old farmer Jim. I believe he's in his 80s by now, and at long last he's given up farming and has let other people use his land. I hope you enjoyed his story. I'm sorry about the noises in the background because there was a lot going on with tractors, and hopefully you'll be able to have heard the interview. And as I say, if you liked what you heard and you want to hear more from the old guy, let me know and we could do some more interviews, because what he knows, well, he knows so much. He's a wise guy, a really, really wise old man. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, give us a comment so I know you're there. And look at that view. Fancy owning a farm with that view. Bye everybody. Bye Jim.